there is a whole new climate in Pennsylvania government right now. We have a new governor. We have a new majority in the House. And we also have been talking about RGGI for years.
4 years to be exact. Thank you for joining us. I'm Braden Long. Our main story, the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, or RGGI, RGGI. Since 2019, Pennsylvania has been talking about joining the initiative. The Commonwealth would join Connecticut, Delaware, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Virginia. Think of it as a group of friends going to the gym together, trying to hold each other accountable. That's what each state in RGGI do for each other, but with carbon emissions. They band together, allow themselves only so many carbon credits to use, and then pay into the group when they go over. Now, those costs can be paid for by energy companies that cause the state to go over, and you can also buy credits from other states for your use as well to go towards your total. Now, proponents say because Pennsylvania exports more energy than it takes in, it would benefit the economy. Governor Josh Shapiro estimated it would generate $600 million in his 2023 budget. The problem, Pennsylvania joining the initiative is held up in Commonwealth Court. So let's back up and talk about how we got here. After beginning the talks before the COVID outbreak of 2020, Governor Tom Wolf decided to try and override the state legislature by executive order, beginning Pennsylvania's participation in RGGI in 2022, his last year in office. Now, Republicans in the General Assembly did not take kindly to it and sued. Former Governor Wolf believed he had the power under the Air Pollution Control Act that gave the Department of Environmental Protection the ability to cooperate with other states or any interstate agencies with respect to the control, prevention, abatement, and reduction of air pollution, and where appropriate, formulate interstate air pollution control compacts or agreements for the submission thereof to the General Assembly. That last part, submission thereof to the General Assembly. That's the hang-up in court. Now, regardless of the court ruling, House and Senate Democrats and Governor Shapiro still want to join the initiative and can do so with the permission of the General Assembly if the court order is struck down. State Senator Carolyn Comida is the minority chair of the Senate Environmental Resources and Energy Committee this session and co-chair of the Climate Caucus. I asked her what her hopes were for the future of RGGI and the talks ongoing this session in Harrisburg.
So everyone is very aware of the issues. And I think that with every passing day, the conversation about the benefits of reducing carbon, the ability to slow the most egregious, dangerous effects of climate change. When I first started in the legislature, the debate was about whether the climate was changing or not, whether extra carbon dioxide in the air, and we didn't necessarily talk about methane at that time, but that perhaps that was good for the plants and the people. Well, now the conversation has shifted. The legislators are citizens, scientists. Everyone knows more than when I started in the House 6 years ago. The conversation is now about what are we going to do about reducing the effects of climate change? How are we going to reduce our emissions? RGGI is a way to put a fee on whatever energy industry is producing carbon.
So the states band together, they go to the gym together, they hold each other accountable with the energy industry. The problem is while the conversation is happening, Pennsylvania is a major energy exporter of natural gas and used to be of coal as well. Many Pennsylvanian towns hit hard as the coal industry was reined in over the last few decades, and the more rural areas of Pennsylvania that are natural gas rich are determined to hold on. Take former Representative Darrell Metcalf, Butler County. He finished out his final term last year. He also served last session as the head of the Environmental Resources and Energy Committee in the State House. I met with him in 2021. While serving on that committee, his donors, the biggest ones, Exxon, Marathon, Chesapeake.
My position is that this false narrative that's been created to tell people that they need to suffer because humanity is responsible for all the climate change that we see, that they're going to be the end of themselves and that they should suffer through regressive tax policies, and they should trust these people in the government, that they should trust them with implementing with their money the projects that will actually facilitate the solution.
And that continues to be the Republican position. Just last month, 2 state representatives filed a memorandum, now House Bill 195, to block entry into RGGI. Their concerns? That the jobs that we will lose if RGGI goes into effect would go directly to our neighboring states who are not a part of RGGI. And our remaining natural gas-fired plants will be put at a competitive disadvantage because of our participation. And further, it risked increasing electric bills on our constituents who are already feeling the impact of high prices. Now, those are legitimate concerns. Natural gas communities look at former coal-producing communities and fear for their own safety in a renewable-driven world. However, Senator Komada and many across Pennsylvania say this is a false narrative. They also say that they have the proof to back it up. Take that $600 million that Governor Shapiro has in its budget. That includes money to filter back into local economies that are dominant with natural gas. Furthermore, Senator Komada introduced the RGGI Investments Act to ensure it.
This money would be reinvested in communities. It's going to help lower energy costs for consumers, and it's also going to help those communities that are in transition, some of the communities where the fossil fuel industry, some of the coal communities, some of the other communities that have relied on the fossil fuel industry for jobs all these years to help as they transition. Schools, retraining, community investments. And this is a huge opportunity for the revenue from RGGI.
As for reliability of renewables and cost effectiveness, the World Economic Forum released data stating that renewable energy, including onshore wind and solar, which is being manufactured in Pennsylvania, were the cheapest sources of energy in 2020, and that has continued. Experts also claim that renewables are more reliable than fossil fuels. But you don't have to hear it from an expert. We had a real-life example just last year. Take PJM interconnection. They met with state senators talking about their near failure of the grid due to the cold wave of December 23rd through Christmas of last year. And while they cited unforecasted cold temperatures as a reason for the stress of the system, which is a whole other conversation of wrong, their data showed that the reason for the stress was not the renewables.
It was some of the natural gas generators that had problems with unprecedented cold, freezing temperatures, and they had difficulty getting the product.
Homes were asked to reduce electricity uses on Christmas Day, and their data shows as well overwhelmingly natural gas, coal, and oil issues. Now, Penn Future, which is an environmental advocacy group, went through PJM data and found 70% of the outages were due to natural gas fracking equipment not operating properly. Now, natural gas accounts for about half of PJM's power generation. Coal accounted for 16%. Meanwhile, nuclear, hydro, solar, and wind accounted for about 10% of those outages. And the group says that wind functioned far better than what PJM had planned. So to bring it back to RGGI, one of the most hotly debated issues in Harrisburg for the past several years, those who advocate for the program in the state legislature say it's not about banning the way that local communities power their economies or losing jobs to other RGGI states.
We are an energy exporter, right? And we have enough energy to fuel Pennsylvania, and then enough to export to other states. And it has been primarily fossil fuels, now with the growing renewables. Fossil fuel as an energy is going to have a role moving forward. RGGI is a tool in the toolbox. One, to bring down carbon emissions, and two, to generate revenue